Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm your host, Tonya TKO, and we're going to be getting started momentarily as soon as people get the text notification and they come on in. Wow, there's so much that we need to discuss. It is bright and early in the morning, even earlier on some coasts, but later on others. And I've been up for the past 3 hours. So it's about 6 a.m. right now. I got up about 3 a.m. You all know that I'm in grad school. I'm in grad school at an Ivy League institution. And let me see, is that the text? Oh, okay. I did get a text, but it's not that. Mm. So, nonetheless, um, I felt it necessary to do this video. So, I think I was saying yes. So, you know that I'm in grad school in a psychology program at an Ivy League institution. And I have been up reading and reading. You all know, oh, you all are starting to come in. Let me get the comments up. Good morning. Good morning. Akita's like, hey, girl. Vera's like, hi, Tanya. Good afternoon. Afternoon. See what I'm saying? It is later in some places. Where are you at this afternoon, my dear? So I was giving my intro before you all came in, but I'll give it again after. So we'll get started once we're all here together. You all will notice that my hair is brushed down. This has been the first time in months that I've been able to brush my hair. You all know I had that really big operation in June. July, I went to the Caribbean to heal. I ended up getting sepsis and had to really find the internal continents to save my life. I came back here in August and went right into grad school. And so I have been just on this journey. But after my last video where I was wearing that hat, I just felt like I did not look like myself, and I just really wanted to come back into myself. And that's a little bit of what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the 5 love languages and how we've been failed by that and society, because there's some information that I've come across that I wanted to share with you all that I think will make a huge difference in your life. Okay, so we got Niger Gal in the house. Okay. Welcome. Good morning. Good morning. So, Britt has some things on her mind. Well, you know what? This is why we are here. So, I'm glad and happy to be here. There is an apple that has come in. Let me reply to that with some hearts. All right. So, good morning. Text notification squad, when you get the text and you come in, go ahead and throw up your 1010 so that I know that we are here in the building. And as a matter of fact, you know what? Let me find out where all of you are from. So Vera is in Nigeria. Chrissy, where are you? Gia, tell me where you're at. DPA, where are you? Off sweets. Or does that say Q sweets? Oh, I like that. I like anything sweet in the morning. You know I do. I really do. So welcome, 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 welcome. We're going to be having kind of a serious conversation today, so I want to make sure that we're in the building. But I see, since this doesn't have like a dramatic title and there's nothing in here that has to do with men, that it may not be pushed. So Chrissy, you got the text notification already? Okay, good, good, good. So what I'm gonna have to depend on you all. I created the text notification squad so that you all would be able to get the text regardless of these platforms and how these platforms feel like promoting or not promoting my stuff. So I know that it's early, so we can continue going forward. Sonia's in the UK, Britt Brat's in VA. Crystal, where are you? We got Ayana in the Bronx. We got Q's in Bodymore. All right, girl. All right. Where's my logo for my chest? Come on. What's happening here that my name is not on me? What's this? Come on. Where is my thing? This is, because I'm looking and I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where's my thing? It's like, it's not coming. It's not coming. I don't know where it is. This is, ugh. Oh, Crystal was listening to an old episode on Spotify. Dang, I remember when I used to put up stuff on the platform, but it was like it wasn't interactive, so I couldn't really comment back to people. And it was just more work that I had to do. I can't find my logo and I need my logo because and the whole logo thing is somewhere. Let me turn off my camera real quick to find this thing. All right, where is my logo? That is connected to that. Let me put that back. Oh, I just don't know where my logo went. I don't know where my logo is, and I want it. This is saddening and maddening because it looks like I added it in here twice, and even the second one is not here. Where could it be? Good morning. Hi, Joanna. How are you? We got Chicago getting ready for work. Are there people working today on election day? We got Virginia in the house. Oh, Shanti is trying to butter me out, talking about I look beautiful and dewy. I put a little bit of foundation under my eyes because I haven't been getting much sleep. Like I said, I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to get my logo on, and it was on in my last video. So it's like, here is the logo on this screen. So why is it not on the previous screen? You know what? Let me just copy it temporarily and then put it on the other screen because let's see. Copy and then over here and then just let's do a paste. Nope, let's do paste reference. Paste duplicate. See, because it's already on this page. Nonetheless. Okay. Let's get back into what it is that we were saying. And thank you. I do feel like I look like myself. I probably will never grow my hair long. It's just not me. I just really like the shortcut. I think it just allows for these South African and ancestral cheekbones to show. Kia or Kaya's working from home. Goodness, it took off. I don't blame you. Okay, you're going to a vote party? Nice. Yeah, travel with your bats. A Perry Life is in London. Hey, okay, you know what? We spent enough time. Let us go ahead and get live on all of the platforms, and then I'm going to give my introductions and everything. Okay, so let's go ahead. And you know what? With our commitment to ourselves, we are going to turn on the timer. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right. So in 30 minutes, we're going to get up and we're going to move a little bit. So just pay attention to that timer. All right. Let us go ahead. All right. We are live on Twitch. We're live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn. And of course, we are live on YouTube. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. I am your host, Tonya TKO. Oh, let me get this one out. I'm your host, Tonya TKO. I am a self-love specialist. I'm also a graduate student of psychology at an Ivy League institution. And the reason I say that is because we're going to be talking about some psychological themes this morning. On this channel, I help you learn how to love yourself. And once that self-love is implemented on the inside, It branches out into all and whomever we know. And so today we're going to be talking about how the 5 love languages and society has failed us. We have been failed as people by theories that are known but just are not disseminated to us in the public. So today I'm going to tell you what it is that I have been learning as a student of psychology. So, as you all know, I am doing an event. Let me get the link for the event so that I could put it up on the screen so that you all can see, right? I'm doing an event, and you know what I must say about myself? I have to give myself props because I studied psychology for 2 years in undergrad, and then after my mother died, I switched over to media arts, and then I became a content creator who talks about psychological themes. However, it wasn't until I got into psychology at the graduate level and really began to hone in on certain topics and principles that I have begun to broaden and expand my perspective in ways that I think are going to be invaluable to you. So for those of you who know, you know that I am doing an event in December. It's a full day immersive experience, and it is called New Self, a day of healing and hypnotherapy. So we're going to roll up our sleeves and we're really going to be diving in to those things that are going on the inside of us that are stopping us from living a full and furtive life, right? So I need you all to go into the description of this video if you feel called to, because this is definitely going to be a full day of confronting yourself and having revelations, right? And so, in preparation for this event, I've really been diving very deep into something that is called self theory. We're going to be talking about this at the immersive experience. So you all know that I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. You all know that I'm also a life coach from an accredited institution, and I am currently a grad student at an Ivy League organization in a rigorous program that demands a lot of me. As such, I've been waking up at about 3 o'clock in the morning to get a head start because once the sunlight breaks, I like to work out. The sunlight is breaking right now, but I like to work out, and so in the morning when I'm still tired, I really like to read. And today, let me tell you what I've been reading about, right? So that question, Vanessa, is answered in the FAQs because this is a sacred space, because we're going to be doing some deep psychological stuff in the room, right? Like some stuff deeply with the psyche, right? We're going to need to maintain that safe space, and so only people who are in the room are going to be privy to what goes on in the room. As you can imagine, you wouldn't want me as your host distracted between trying to do things online and be talking to y'all and trying to help y'all online. And so this is not a lecture, this is an immersive experience. There will be some lecture on self-theory, and so that brings me into what we're talking about today. So welcome in, everybody. How many people here remember the book, The 5 Love Languages? This is it right here. If you do you remember this right here, 5 Love Languages, and how it talked about these different things? If you are familiar with the 5 love languages, I want you to just throw up a one, put up your hand emoji. If you're on a cell phone, let me know because I want to see. Alexa says she has a pit of a stomach from the election. Alexa, breathe deep. We are here in this moment together. The future is not here yet, and the past is gone, baby. But right now, we are here with one another. Let's stay grounded in the present. And for anybody who has anxiety, let's all collectively take a deep breath in and then exhale out. And there's a special type of breath that I want you to take. You remember how Darth Vader used to sound, Luke, I am your father, right? I want you to imagine that grumble in the back of your throat. And I want you to just inhale like you just have some sort of breathing issue. I want you to hear the sound of the breath. So I want you to, let's go. And then let out the same, holding that same thing in the back. Right? And if we could do that again. And tell me you don't feel better after that. I know you do. Just, you can let me know that you feel better after that. That is a special type of breath. We're going to be doing a lot of healing modalities inside of this workshop. All right. So this is your first time hearing about the book. So basically, in the book, there's this theory that there are these 5 languages of love that we all have. The author, who is Gary Chapman, this guy right here. Gary Chapman is a minister of sorts, and he was doing a lot of couples therapy, right? And in his couples therapy, he found out that there were common themes that were coming up. And he decided to help the people by honing it in to the 5 languages of love. So basically, according to his theory, if someone tries to speak to you in a language of love that you don't interpret, you will never feel loved, and vice versa. So we have ways that we speak love and ways that we receive love, or ways that we show love and ways that we interpret the receipt of love. Or, see, Shanti feels better. Listen, I know what I'm doing here. I know what I'm doing here, you know? Alexa says that was amazing. Absolutely. And you can try that breath anytime. And what you can do is focus on making the breath as soft as possible, but still maintaining that vibration in the back of your throat chakra. All right. So Alexa is ahead of me. Slow down, girl. You already jumping ahead in my lecture. So this is interactive, so I appreciate that, because that is exactly where we're going with this and how we have been failed, because there is this theory of the false self, and there's this false self paradigm that exists in self theory. So this is what we're going to be talking about. So basically, there's these 5 love languages. There's quality time, there's gifts, there's acts of service, there's physical touch. And then there is one more. What could it be? What could it be? Let me see. Let me Google it real quick. What are the 5 love languages? Okay, let's see. I don't need all of that. I just want the, okay. So words of affirmation. Let me make this smaller so I can move it around. All right. Oh, brother, come back small. Okay. Here we go. We have acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch. So I said all 5. Or maybe I missed acts of service. All right. So he went through this whole theory, and then I went to his website, right? I did. And I realized why we might have been failed. So when you go to his website, oh, you see so much. Oh, take the quiz here on all of these networks, multiple books. It goes on and on and on. So here, multiple books that go on and on and on and on. 5 love languages in so many different ways. And then we got the resources. Then we got the speaking engagements. Then we got all of these things that are being sold to you, right? But not really ever getting to the heart of the issue. Alexa beat me to it. So let's talk real quick about why it's important to get your information from qualified sources. This is my first semester in a psychology program. And I have to give myself kudos and credits for the amount that I have been able to do and the modalities that I have created, much like this guy, much like he created, modalities as well. Or actually, he created a book with information in it. But it's not until you get into the psychological theories that you understand that this is a field that has been around for hundreds of years, with people who have studied scientifically and tested different theories that affect us and our minds as human beings. Part of the reason that it's important to go to qualified sources is because when you study psychology, you start learning about all the big names. Many of us know Freud because he had many dramatic and quite sometimes seemingly troubling ideas about why we are the way that we are and how we got here, right? But when you start studying psychology, you start learning about other people in the field, Cahoot, Lacans, Laplanche, and you learn about different people who have come into the field and tested, broke off and branched off from Freud, and then created their own fields. Actually, Lacan's was a hypnotherapist. And I told you all I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist. Lacan's was a hypnotherapist, and Freud tried hypnotherapy, but he didn't have the internal continence for it. And he also felt that people needed to confront themselves and confront reality. Lacan's, on the other hand, he was like, reality, does that really matter? Because it's like, if a person is psychotic and in distress, what is the cause of that? And is there a way to shift that so that they can live a normal, healthy life? So Lacan's was hypnotizing people to see things differently, to have a different awareness, a different opinion, a different interaction with a certain stimuli. So while Freud's patients were still in the asylum, Lacan's patients were going out onto the street. I had to write a paper about this. And I was like, which one worked? At the end of the day, what was working? What got people into living healthy, normal lives, right? Because you could sit there with this phobia and these triggers. If these triggers are stopping you from living a normal life, confronting the trigger and getting more traumatized and ending up in a damn asylum, I don't see how that's helping. Me personally, if there's something that you want to shift from and I can help you shift from it, I'm gonna help you shift from it, right? So let's get into why it's important that you get your information from qualified sources, because once you dive into the field of psychology, you start learning things. And one of the things you begin to learn is that this really is a science. And there are people who have come before us who have tested, theorized, tested again, and found different things that appear to be true. And then other people came, tested, some of those things were true, some were not, some still hold true today, some have been disbanded, some have been expounded upon. But nonetheless, let me tell you, not only are the 5 love languages only scratching the surface, but focusing on that has failed us. Alexa, come forward. You're the one who said it earlier. There's been this new theory that has come out that the 5 love languages are actually those things that you were missing as a child. But it goes deeper than that, from what it is that I am learning. And if you want to benefit from my learning, my abilities as a hypnotherapist, my training as a life coach, to be able to guide you through some of the things that may be harming you and guide you into a healthier way of living and being, the link to my one-day immersive experience, which is coming up in December, is in the description. I'll put it here for you in the chat. All right. I just put it in the chat. There it is. You can even go to TonyaTKO.com. You'll see a little thing there to click on, and then you can come and you can get your ticket, etc. And tickets are selling. There's some left, but I don't want you to get left out of it. And if you're having financial hardship, there's just a little essay that you need to write, answer some questions, because we do have knockouts who are sponsoring other ladies, right? Okay. There's this new theory that the five love languages are actually the things that you were missing as a child. So the quality time, the acts of service, the what are the, let's go back to the list of them. Okay? So the acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, physical touch, receiving gifts. When we were young, it is theorized that these are the things that we were missing in our relationships. What it is that I'm learning is that it goes even a step further than that into actually who it is that you think that you are and how these love languages are actually a trauma response. It's a response to the repression that you experienced as a child. And in these let me drink some water. What the heck is going on? I'm gonna have to say that whole sentence again. Okay. All right. That the five love languages are actually a trauma response. They're a response to the things, yes, that were unmet in you as a child, but that in a response to that trauma, to that repression, that you are now currently in your relationship looking for healing through those acts so that you can be better on the inside rather than getting to the heart of the issue. Because you can be placated in those ways, right? You can. But you don't get to the heart of the issue. And the heart of the issue is your idea of who it is that you think you are that was fragmented, repressed, and contorted as a child. Let me give you some examples. Let me give you some examples. And this is a true statement. I don't know why I paused on it because I had to think about it to see if it was true. It's early, y'all. We were all children once. True or false? We were all children. And we were all at one time dependent on someone else's care. Some of our parents had unaddressed issues. Some of our parents were very young when they had us, especially if you are millennial, Generation X. What comes above Generation X? What's above Generation X? Is it boomers are not above X, are they? Wow, I think they are. So then we have boomers, and then we have the silent generation. And I think anyone from the silent generation may not be around anymore. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wait, no, they are, they are. Silent generation, I'm talking about the generation above that, that I don't even know the name of. Nonetheless. All right. Especially as you get into our older parents, start putting up the ages of how old your mother was when she had you. Put up the age that your father was. Just put M for mother, F for father. Let's see their ages. My mother, she started having kids when she was 20 years old. Had she ever addressed any of her trauma? Did she ever get the chance to look back into why she's doing things? Or did she come into this relationship as a young woman, really not having resolved her own stuff, and then having a child who is now dependent on her. So you see, the difference between parents and adults is that the parent has autonomy of movement. The parent is the one paying the bills and controlling the feeding. And children understand this. You understood this as a child. And there were things that you did to adapt and keep yourself safe, right? Oh, goodness. Oh, my gracious goodness. 20, a mother who was 14, a mother who was 16. This is what I'm saying. What does a 14-year-old know? Mom 17, dad 19. What does a 17-year-old know? What issues have they worked out on themselves? All right, so we have somebody here. All right. So we back in the building, right? So we had somebody that just needs to be removed real quick, right? Removed real quick. So we have 18 and 20, 1822, 1820. All right. So we have parents that had us when they were very young and had not worked out their issues. And then here you come along, dependent on them for your survival. So you learned very early on how to survive, what it meant to be a good girl, a good boy, how to receive your mother's love, attention, affection, how to get your father to pay attention to you. Meanwhile, all of this came at the sacrifice of your true self. You developed a false self as a defense mechanism to make the parents around you happy. And so now we are here in our adult lives. How many of us are experiencing numbness? That you just feel numb inside? That you really just don't see the purpose and the meaning? I want you to put up a 0, please. Daisy said it's too early for this. What is too early for, baby girl? What is it too early for? Yeah, so there's a little bit of a delay between when I say it and when you all begin to comment. So take your time. By the time you hear this, it would have been a few moments. And you know what? I'm really so happy I brushed my hair down. I really do feel like myself. So while I'm waiting for the comments to come in, I want you all to really truly consider coming to New York to be a part of New Self, the immersive workshop that I'm doing on December 14th. Okay, so Rakia feels numb. Samantha feels numb. Desi feels numb. Yeah, yeah. Nessa feels numb. Obsidiamus feels numb. Marjorie feels numb. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Atik says yes, but we're doing numbers, okay, so I can know what it is that you're saying yes to, okay? Brick feels numb. There is an epidemic. And then also, there is something that is directly related to us as women. You know that 75% of all self-aliving victims are male. But did you know that in the 25% that are women, the vast majority of that, they do that between the ages of 45 and 55? If you didn't know that, throw your hand up. Okay? Kiera feels numb. Let's see. Short hair, don't care, feels numb. Atik feels numb. Betty feels numb. 20, while she doesn't feel numb, she does feel a little lost and not clear on her purpose, right? And so red is saying my fears that by the time I'm healed enough to be a great mother, my childbearing years will be over. Please come to the immersive experience I'm having, new self. Come, because you cannot go back. This is what psychologists have found, that so many of us want to go back, but we can't, because that self has been neglected for so many years, right? And so Zika is saying menopause possibly. So part of it is a drop in hormones. Part of it is coming to the realization that you've not yet found your purpose, that you are feeling these depressive feelings, that you are not even, so many years have gone by, and like Red Vanessa says, these years have gone by, but I'm not where it is that I want to be emotionally, psychologically. I haven't found the answer. If you are feeling numb, psychologists theorize that part of that numbness stems from childhood repression, from you having to be something other than what it is that you truly are and were in order to please the adults around you. And there's so many of us who have been socialized and acculturated into a culture where the only feasible emotion for girls is happiness. If you were in that camp, throw up a hand, put up a number 1. Let me see that, right? All right. So Uday is saying, honestly, when my dad passed, I felt a lot of relief and space to heal. And you see, that's what some of it is. So, and I'm glad that you brought that up. Thank you. So what we're doing is we are putting ourselves in a prison. So our emotions were not safe in our household. So we imprisoned them inside of us. And in the absence of our parents comes the inner critic. And this is why I have to give myself credit, because 10 years ago, I came up with a modality to get rid of the inner critic on the inside. And I did all of this with no psychological, well, practically no psychological training, but having done this on myself, and it worked miraculously. Just like with self theory, I did self theory on myself with hypnotherapy, and it changed so many things for me. I'm a different person than I was before I did the self theory, and I want you to experience that as well. So, nonetheless, that numbness. So, let me ask you all, the people who put up a 0, right, who you feel numb now, only the people who put up a 0, all right? I want you to answer me. Have you ever had a dream where you were in a coffin, where you could not move, where people thought you were dead and you couldn't speak? I want you to put up an X, please, for the death. The death note. Listen, this is what it is. Put up an X, please. And I want you to take some time to seriously consider and think about it. The people who have put up the 0, have you had a dream in the past, especially when you were a child? And for those of you in relationships where you can't really speak your mind, we'll talk about that a little in another video. We'll talk about that. But go ahead, I want to see these numbers, because this is real SHIT right here. This is real stuff. And so the work that we are doing on December 14th is important work. I personally feel that when I help one of you, I help a section of the world heal. Because when you as a mother, when you heal, you're able to pass that healing on to your children and to other people that you come into contact with. And so let's talk about that. It's time for us to get up into our dance movements, right? And Ness is saying, dang, wasn't you? No, my father's still alive. I was reading someone's comment. My father is alive and kicking. Yes. Okay, so here come. Okay, look. Look. Short hair don't care has up an X. A teak has up an X. Yeah, I know what it is that I'm about to see right now. Psychologists have found that there's a correlation between death and paralysis and mute dreams, right? Psychologists have found a correlation between that and helplessness, repression, voicelessness as children. Here, we have somebody else.
Sa sa re re mama papa re re mama papa ni ni mama papa ni ni sa 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 ni da pa ma re pa 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 mama pa 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 ma pa ni da pa ma re ga sa re ma pa 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 mama pa 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 ma pa ni da pa ma re ga sa ni sa re ma ga re ma pa ni da pa ma pa ni sa re ma re sa ni da pa ma re pa pa mama pa 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 ma pa ni da pa ma re ga sa re ma pa 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 mama pa 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 ma pa sa ni da pa ma re ga sa ni sa re ma ga re
That was good. That was good. Yeah. Woo. That was good. That was good. Woo. All right. All right. So we are back. So people were putting up the X's, right? That's where we were. So there is a correlation between our repression, our helplessness, and the voicelessness, the lack of movement that we have felt in our dreams, especially in our younger years. So here, let's get another 30 minutes on the clock, and then we'll continue to go forward. Yes, go out and vote. Go out and vote. Yes, I voted already. Hopefully you all did your early voting. Anybody who is saying that they're not voting, I mean, it's your democratic right not to. However, one person is going to win whether you vote or not. What you can do is exercise your ability to stop one person from taking over the other, because who gets into office affects us all, right? Atik says, I so enjoy your content. All right. So I want to hear some questions. Actually, you know what? Let's open up the phone lines. Why not? The lecture part is over. We can talk now. If you have questions for me about the event, questions about what it is that we've been talking about, self theory, the paradigm of the self, false self versus true self, any of this, we can talk about it. So let me open up the phone lines for us. That was a fun little dance. Okay, so phone lines are open. Let me check the apples real quick. Okay, the apples have been gathered. So, floating above, weightlessness, getting away, unburdened. There's a lot of reasons we can talk about. We can talk about a lot of different things. All right, so phone lines are open. The number is on the screen, 323-488-3149. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Elle. You are on it and you are up early and vibrant. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. I am happy to be here. What I got on my shoulder? Let me dust the haters off. Hey, oh, I don't know if I want to be singing that song because he seemed like he gonna be the next to be exposed. Cause you know what's that Jaguar ain't missed yet, has she? I don't know. I do see some crazy stuff she be talking about, but anyway, come on. The phone lines are open. 323-488. Can someone test the phone lines for me? Make sure that they're working correctly. I took a swimming class this summer. It really helped, a form of baptism. I suggest it to anyone that wants to address traumas. Yeah, you know, there are different things that you can try, different things. Nothing beats the being under the tutelage of a psychological professional, someone who is trained in being able to help you navigate. There are ways, just like there were ways that I created modalities to help people. However, with me learning the science, I understand and can see things from a different point of view. So come on, come on. Phone lines are open. Maybe there's is there an issue with the phone lines? Or is it just too early for you all to talk? So Unknown is saying the love languages are trauma responses, but then what? You have to get a therapist. You have to work through it. You have to participate. And the thing is, you know, all therapists are not created equal, and different therapists have different techniques and modalities. One of the things that I'm suggesting is that you come to events with qualified people like me to be able to help navigate you through the number one, understanding self theory, understanding the false self, and how and when you fragmented, what you fragmented to, doing techniques like what I do to help people get rid of negative self talk, as well as going on hypnotherapeutic journeys like inner child healing, forgiveness, meeting up with your wise inner self, and other things that can help you create a tremendous shift. So you've got to do something. Now that you know this, you've got to do something. I am suggesting for people who have the ability to come to New York in December and who so feel called. If you feel called to it and you know that this is for you, sign up, come out, let's do the work together. If it's not a possibility for you, find a reputable, qualified person to be able to help navigate you through your journey and figure out what modality of psychotherapy, psychoanalysis, CBT, DBT, what it is that you would like to do. Okay? I don't have a scratchy voice. Oh, you mean that okay, I know what you're talking about. All right. So, I may have missed something. She said something about Tyson Beckford. He laughed at it in the comments. Jaguar might have missed that one. When I was young, when I was in my 20s, I used to hang out in Miami. And when I was in Miami, I met people in the modeling game. And they told me what these men had to do in order to make it in the industry. And so if she said some stuff about Tyson Beckford, I don't know what it is that she said. If he laughed at it, it could have been just tension release. Listen, because I heard personally about what they had to do, and his name was one of the names that came up. So I don't put nothing past any of these men in the industry who are gatekeepers. I don't. I don't. You're on the air live with Tonya TKO. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is a T Grand Rising, Tonya.
Hey, Atik, Mama, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
It's a beautiful morning today. I'm really happy to be alive. And I'm happy that you're here. I need you to turn down the thing in the background. I'm hearing an echo.
Oh, that's your video. I'm sorry. That's your video.
Yeah, yeah, no need to apologize. Just needs to be turned down.
Okay.
All right. So talk
I
to me. What's up?
I so enjoy your content. I've been watching you for some years now. Your videos are bomb. You are dead on about the topics that you speak on for
Thank
us as
you.
women and the experiences we have. We have been undermined so long for generations.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, taught to be in the servitude for others, children, husbands, boyfriends. It's time for us to be liberated.
Mm-hmm. Yes, 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 yes.
So, your topics and your commentary has helped me out and helped me identify some issues. I'll share a bit of my background. Um, I became a teen mom early. It was kind of like a generational thing in my family. Also, as a child, was brutalized by my family and things of
Mm.
that nature. And unfortunately, I had gotten into a relationship. My first boyfriend was abusive. I have 6 children from him,
Mm.
but we broke up 20 years ago. My twins are 22, so it's been 21 years I broke up with him. So I've been an advocate for domestic violence, children, just wanting to share my story, to let someone understand that they have a voice, and you deserve to be happy. You
Yeah,
deserve to have peace in your life. So
yeah,
I've been an advocate, but along the way I understand, due to the trauma that I've experienced from even being a child, is affecting me as an adult woman.
yeah, 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 yeah. Have you seen the page I put up for New Self?
I have not.
Okay, okay. Where are you located?
Savannah, Georgia.
Okay, so you're in the US. So I'm doing an event in December called New Self.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be a day of healing and hypnotherapy. We're going to be doing a few different things. I'll put it up on the screen because maybe you came into the broadcast a little later.
Mhm.
So this is the event. It's called New Self, and so we're going to be doing. It's going to be a day of healing and hypnotherapy. We're going to be doing. Let's scroll down to what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing hypnotherapy, neurolinguistic programming, self theory lessons. We're going to be doing meditation, guided imagery, sound therapy. We're going to have sisterhood, trivia, fun activities, games, and prizes. So we're going to have a full fun day
Mhm.
of healing and addressing some of the things that have been plaguing us for
Mhm.
decades so that we could finally get onto the other side of it. Because if you have 6 children and they are, so now your children are about what, 22?
Well, that's my youngest. My eldest is 31. So I have a 31-year-old son, a 26-year-old daughter, a 25-year-old son, a 23-year-old daughter, and my twins are 22. So everyone is grown. They have their own life they live in. So I'm basically just trying to figure out, but trying to get over the fact that I've been so engulfed in these children and in their lives so long. I don't even know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to regulate, myself, and it's a process. I've been a mom before I even knew who I was.
Right, exactly.
So it's a process. I enjoy the freedom, but it's like something's missing. Like
So what
I
have you
can't put my
done?
finger on it.
What have you done
I'm sorry. As far as what, Tanya?
in terms of healing? What have you tried?
Well, I'm highly spiritual, so I've been writing, journaling. Before I had my became a teen mom, I was a performing arts student. I did visual arts. I danced. So for me, dancing and doing those things helped me heal. I've communicated to some of the individuals who have caused me trauma,
Mm-hmm.
which didn't turn out because when people are not ready to accept responsibility, it doesn't fare out well. But that's fine. I verbalized it and I brought it to their attention. So it's just so much. Like I have a family full of trauma because they dealt with trauma. It's just a lot that I'm working through, but it's a process every day.
Okay.
I'm trying to be the best that version of myself that I can be. I've also learned it just because you were born into a family does not necessarily mean it's family. And I'm just trying to be the best me I can be, and everyone else behind me is secondary. Because the problem was, I was taught to be silent if something was done wrong to me. That's how I
Mm-hmm.
ended up being in an abusive relationship as a young woman, and to put everyone else before me.
Mm-hmm.
That I've been doing that for 46 years. So I'm doing away with that and focusing on myself. I have a couple of businesses. I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm just trying to work on self healing, getting to know myself. I'm on the same page with you about this whole matriarch of the Bible situation.
Yeah.
Like, you are my sister in spirit. That's how I feel.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Are you coming to New York for the event?
I do it. I'm not currently working right now, so I have the delegation to kind of do what I want to do. So I do plan on it, and I definitely will look on your page and see get the information. And I feel like this will help me move further and quicker in my recovery process because this
Yes.
is a recovery process.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So I need you all to get your tickets early so that we can know who the cohort is so that I could be able to plan accordingly. And we have a group behind the scenes. So I want you all to get in the group behind the scenes that are coming to the event so we can begin to know one another and start coordinating our travel plans and staying arrangement, et cetera, because we are a sisterhood. So question for you, you're 46?
I am.
Wait, you said you have a 30, your oldest is 32?
He's 31, and I'm a grandmother of four.
So you were, tell me again how old you were when you had your first child?
I was 15, fresh 15, and I had him right before I turned 16.
That's the number I thought that my math was wrong because I said, wait, 15. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Got emancipated from my mom due to the tumultuous relationship we had, and ended up moving with him on my own. So I've
Dang.
been on my own since I was like
Yeah.
17 years old. Graduated school early and went directly into the workforce.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's about time that you found community and sisterhood of like minded people to be able to lean on in this stage of your life. I'm glad that you called in. Thank you so much, Atik. And if you have questions or anything, write to me on my website, tanyatko.com. Just click on the contact button and we'll talk, okay?
Sure, and I will continue to lift you up in spirit, my sister. You are one of the people the ancestors been waiting on. So thank you for doing what you do.
Oh, you know what? I really appreciate that. And I truly do believe that I am right where I am meant to be. And I've been able to do so much with so little training. And
Because
once I,
it's your calling. It's your calling.
yeah, and once I get through this psychology program, this master's, I already know I'm going to be just a beast I already know. I'm going to be not,
Mhm.
you know what?
Mhm.
That's very aggressive masculine terminology. I'm going to be a goddess.
Yes. Yes. Not just a God, is a God, a living God, because you are doing what you are called to do. Is
Hold on,
anointing
hold
your
on, hold on,
head.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Hold on. You said not just a goddess, a living God. Tell me what you feel is the difference between a goddess and a god.
Well, with the matriarchy male situation, they kind of try to minimize us and say, well, it's men is God and women are goddess. We all
I'm asking you a
women are God.
question and you tap dancing around it. I need you to confront yourself right
Oh,
now, Atik. What do you feel is the difference between a goddess and a god that you would tell me that rather than
well,
being a
I feel like we're and I guess I'm going to share a bit of my ology when I say this. I feel like women are the supreme beings. When you say goddess, that's just the way that I look at it. And from my point of view, because they try to lessen feminine energy, they won't say that we are God. They say that we are goddess, like it's less than being a god. So
So
when
hold
I
on.
say
Let's
that,
let's let's talk. Let's talk about that real quick, please. Let's talk
sure,
about that real quick
sure.
because this is part of the patriarchal programming that you feel that a
Mhm.
goddess is a step below a god
Mhm.
because you
Mhm.
have
And
been
I feel like women are. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
right,
Tonya.
and you feel that God is the supreme being and that goddess is less than her rather than the other way around. So I don't consider it to be a step up for you to refer to me with the male pronoun of the word. I consider it a step up to be goddess.
Okay, I understand that. I understand that. But my interpretation of it is that we are the gods. There's no one above feminine energy. We
We're
we create this realm. We're the cultivators of this realm.
right, and you
So
see this
when
is
I say
still
God, I don't.
you
Go ahead.
you're still speaking from inside the program that
I understand.
that God is the supreme being. You're still of the
Not the male God, the feminine God, like the feminine energy, the ether. We're the ether of this realm. We cultivate everything. So I correlate God energy with feminine energy, not masculine energy, because like you said on one of your videos I just watched, we didn't come from a rib. We didn't
right,
come from a rib. Everything that flows through this realm is coming through feminine energy. So we birthed this realm. And
right.
we're not taught that as young women. We're taught that foolishness, and I'm trying to not talk so
Mm-hmm.
aggressively, but we're taught that man is God, Jesus and the Holy Spirit. No feminine energy lies in there, but God needed Mary to bring forth Jesus. So how is it not a feminine presence
Okay,
in that
so
hierarchy?
exactly, and listen, I feel you. And so listen, Atik, I need you to take
Mhm.
some time after you get off of this broadcast to really just take some time to think. So I just Googled for
Mhm.
us and AI has answered. I asked, what is the
Mhm.
difference between the word God and goddess? A god is a male deity, while a goddess is
Oh
a
wow.
female deity. So when you
Okay.
think of God as the higher term, it really shows the programming. It shows the programming of the male worship that we think that the masculinized word is the higher one because you see, personhood has been relegated for men. When I tell you a story and I say I saw a person crossing the street, what comes to your mind? How does this person
Say
look?
that for say that for me
If
again.
I tell you a story and I say, I saw a person crossing the street, how does this person look to you in your mind just with that sentence alone?
It could be a female.
Yeah, okay. Don't try to switch it up now, my dear. Keep it real.
Oh no, baby, I'm not switching it up.
Okay,
I
okay,
recognize the power of feminine energy because I am a
okay,
female and I revel strongly in that. I'm not
okay,
dancing around anything. I
okay,
I wholeheartedly am a warrior for us as women because I've experienced so much in
okay.
life,
I
and like I
understand. I
said, we
understand.
were
I need to
taught
cut you
not
off
to
right
be
there just so I
smart.
can finish my point,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
The typical person, when you say, I saw a person crossing the street, they think man. Not only do they think man, they think white man. Because
Oh,
personhood,
wow.
first and foremost, has been relegated for men. And in our hierarchical supremacist society, white man, right? And so
Mhm.
when you say that the word God is the supreme entity and that you want to supplant feminine energy onto the masculinized word, you don't realize that the word God is a truncation of the word goddess. Goddess came before God. We worshiped women because we come from the womb. That is what we know as who is creator. Goddess came first. It is clear in archaeological findings that goddess was the original. So when you say, I think of you as a god, that's not a compliment to me because I know goddess came first.
That's understandable. That's a bit of information that I had not been privileged to hear before. That's my first time hearing it. So that gives me a broader scope and a broader understanding of things.
Yeah.
My terminology, because I worked off of what I knew,
Mm-hmm.
that God is the supreme being. So I recognize us as feminine energy as the supreme being and trying to move away from this masculine thing we've been taught from birth that men come first and then women. And being that I've grown in spirit, I understand that's not true. By being a mother of 6 children, I birthed them. I brought them to this realm. So
Yeah.
how is it that a male is higher than me when I cultivated this whole thing?
I understand. I understand. I understand. So Atik,
So I
thank you
do
so
appreciate
yeah.
that information.
Thank
And
you.
I'm sorry,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
No, I'm just thanking you. We're gonna jump off the line and I'm gonna take the next caller. So thank you, Atik.
Thank you, Tonya, and you have a great day. And thank you for all that you do.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
And so Britt is saying, I'm ashamed to say I thought of a guy. I have to catch myself when I assume the gender is. No, please, no, 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 no. Do not feel ashamed. This is a part of the programming. And, you know, I'm going to say this about the event, right? If you feel called, if you feel called to do the work. So there are some people who are already signed up, right? And I'm saying this message in case there are other people, because I know that there are other people who haven't heard the message and they may want to come. I don't want it to pass and then because I didn't talk about it that people are like, "Well, I didn't know. Oh, I wish I could have," because this is going to be a powerful time with us here together. And when I say if you feel called, I truly mean that because there's a certain amount of self-confrontation that a person must undergo in order to change. Change is not comfortable. Change is not easy, and change takes challenging our old ways of thinking and our old ways of being. You have to be able to mourn the old you in order to move on to the new you, to your new self. You have to be able to put that person to rest because you are attached to who it is that you think that you are, and who it is that you are is most likely a trauma response from childhood. This is not even your personality. The personality that you have created is most likely a defense mechanism. People ask me, why in your earlier videos did you seem so bubbly and all this other stuff? I seem bubbly because I wanted to be pleasing. I seem bubbly because I wanted to seem a certain way. But deep underneath all of that is who it is that I be right now. This is me speaking deep, not talking all light. Guess what? Let me. No, this is me. And many of us, the personalities that we are showing is not even our personalities at all. And I need you to be able to confront what it is that you think is true. Just like we were on the call with Atik, and it took a second for her to realize that, oh, even though I am aware of the male worship in these monotheistic religions, that I have supplanted feminine essence onto the masculine because I've been taught that the masculine is above, so that the feminine, I don't want to use the feminine word. And the thing about it is that the children in the doll test back in the 60s for Brown versus the Board of Education had overturned segregation. When they looked at the dolls and they said which was the nice one or the bad one, and they had to point to which one they felt looked like them, that's when they had that splitting. And they didn't want to choose the black doll, but you know, yeah, defense mechanism. But we have to be able to look and see that even though we are aware of the programming, that there's still things in there that are programming. So this is why I say, do not feel ashamed for thinking of a male person. I came across this ideology in reading. And when I read it, I thought of a male and I thought of a white male because we are conditioned to see their personhood first. Now that you are aware of it, what do you do with this information? How do you shift your way of thinking and being? When we read, just like I was listening to a woman, and she made a video. And in the video, she was talking about the burning of quote unquote witches. She was talking about witchcraft and the demonization of women. And the first sentence that she said in the video is, I'm going to read this to you guys. She didn't even catch it. She didn't even catch it. And many of us don't. You have to examine why you refer to groups of women as guys, why you refer to groups of mixed gender, mixed sex people as guys, why you refer to groups of men as guys, and there's no differentiation betwixt. You got to catch yourself each and every time. And so this is what I'm saying. We can be in the work and be aware. And the programming still has us call women guys. Listen to what I'm saying and hear me. I want the type of people to come to my event who can hear what it is that I'm saying and take a few moments to just go inward and think about what it is that I'm saying and challenge yourself. Not everybody is a right match for the event. I just want to make sure that the people who feel called and who are ready to do the work, I have it on the site. I have it on the site here. And one of the people mentoring me on the project told me to take this out. But no, I didn't take it out. She told me to take it out, but I didn't. Here, if we scroll down on the page, right? We're talking about self-theory. We're talking about a lot of things, what you're going to get from it, right? And then we get here. This is for you if you have the humility to admit you need assistance. This is for you if you know you can feel better and do better and are committed to change. This is for you if you take the opportunity to change your life seriously and will approach it as such. 4, this is for you if you can open yourself to be vulnerable in a small group setting. 5, this is for you if you are seeking sisterhood, friendship, and community with like-minded women. Yes. The person mentoring me on this told me to take this part out. This is not for you if you think you are better than people with quote-unquote problems. Oh, it's time for us to dance. 2, you are committed to your issues and you want to live in pain to honor or punish someone else. 3, you are okay with continuing to live how you've been living and quote unquote make a joke out of trying to change. You know, like the people who's like, I eat pork and I go all types of oil. Okay, keep eating it. Keep eating it. We'll see you at the morgue. All right. 4, you're not willing to open yourself and be vulnerable in small groups. 5, you are against building community and sisterhood and friends for life. Yes, yes. The person mentoring me on this told me not to put that part in, but I think it's important for you to examine yourself and see where you are. Can you admit that there's some issues that you have that you've got to work through? Are you open to confronting yourself and seeing some things? Because listen, the way we do things is the way that we do things, and they're normal to us. Are you willing to confront what you consider to be normal? Are you? Are you? So let's go ahead and open up the phone lines again. 323-488-3149. I'm going to take one more call and then I'm going to get back to reading. All right, so come on. Thank you, Elle. I appreciate that. Thank you. So we are doing an event in December called New Self, and we are working on you coming out of that event as a new version of yourself. Sarah says, let me go price these plane tickets. Absolutely, girl. Go get yourself signed up so you can get into the group behind the scenes so that we can start, number one, sisterhood building and community building, as well as planning and coordinating where we're staying and stuff. A few of the ladies are staying together. Some of the women have sponsored portions of other people's tickets or tickets to the event, not plane tickets. You have to do that one yourself. Right. Oh, it is time for the dance break. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you. Because you know what? We can't go into the next call yet. We have to take a dance break. Okay. Let's see what we're going to listen to for this. Let's see what we're going to, let's see. Okay, listen. Listen, get up out your seat. Let's get it. Hold on, let me get my feet up on the screen. Come on. Come on. Hey. Too fast. That was good. That was really good. All right, yeah. All right. Listen, so the people who buy VIP will be there with me first thing in the morning. And so we are definitely going to be moving. We are definitely going to be moving. Man. This was fun. Wow. I gotta get more water. Okay. One last phone call. One last phone call. Oh, thank you all so much for, you know what? Let me see. Whew, I thank you all so much. I thank you all so much for just being the tribe that gets my vibe. You know, everybody doesn't get it. Everybody doesn't get it. Everybody doesn't get it, but I appreciate you all. All right? Yeah, that one was a good one, wasn't it? I don't know why I don't play that one more often, typically because sometimes I just don't be feeling like the high energy of it. All right. So, Phone lines are open 323. We got South Africa in the house. Let me see what your name is. Namzamo. Namzamo. That sounds pretty. Namzamo. I have a lot of fans in South Africa. And a lot of them are on my Facebook page, and a lot of the men. I don't see a lot of the South African women. I see the South African women over here on YouTube, but a lot of the South African men are on my Facebook page, and they are angry. There was one guy from South Africa who was trying to shame me this morning. Skinny guy, thin man, trying to shame me, talking about where is your husband and all of this other stuff. And I just ignored his foolishness and just started talking about my South African cheeks. I was like, you can tell from my cheeks that I am your sister. And I don't know what he said back. Sometimes I'd be a troll on my own page. All right. Rose says, come through heart rate. I know, right? That was a good one. That was a really good one. That was a good one. My watch registered 6 minutes of exercise. Simply says, I don't want to cry on the phone. Come on and cry, girl. Let it out. It's better out than in. But you have to know whether or not you are able to continue with your day afterwards. How do you feel after a good cry? Do you feel like you can't go on, or do you feel more relieved? Because sometimes holding it all in together is the defense mechanism that keeps your back strong against the world. And sometimes we fear that if we allow one tear to drop, that it's going to be like the dam that broke for Noah's Ark. So you have to know what it is that you are feeling and experiencing on the inside. So do what's comfortable for you. I'm not going to take it personally because I'm here as a resource, but it has to be a resource that you are willing and able to participate in. So for those of you who are getting here a little bit later, we were talking about the 5 love languages and how we've been failed by society because there are psychologists who know this information. This is psychological theory. You all know that I'm in a class and I need to put up my week 8. The time is passing. You know what? When I get off of here, I'll probably finish writing my week 8 because we've already gotten into week 9 now and I need to put up week 8. So it's been a journey. It's been a journey, but I'm chronicling it on my website. And if you go to, I'll show you where you can find it. Here on my website, if you click to, where's the scroll up? If you see up here where it says about me, contact, books, shop, videos, blog. If you click on blog, you'll be able to see the last blog post that I put up about week 7, and then when week 8 gets put up, you'll see that there. And I need to transfer week 1 through 6 from the social medias to my websites because so I need to transfer those as well, but those will be transferred so you can see the whole chronicle. So phone lines are open 323-488-3149. If you don't need to call in, if you want to call in, put up a 1. If not, then I'm going to close the phone lines and I'm going to jump off. I'm opening myself for people who may have questions or want to talk or whatever. However, if you don't, that's fine as well. So put up a 1 if you're thinking about calling in so that I can hold the phone open just a little bit longer while you're dialing in. If not, then I'm going to move on. So please let me know by putting up a 1. All right? So welcome in, what is that? Hackle? Oh my goodness. Queendom. Okay, good morning. Good morning. Sun says girls/ladies is used almost as a pejorative. You were put and kept in your place. So, it's really interesting. You know what? I'm so glad you said that, and not glad because it's another segue. Most terms that refer to women and girls have been turned into slurs. Most. If you think of any slur for woman, slut, trollop, strumpet, whore, all of these words started off with innocent meanings to refer to women. And then they turned into slurs, even sissy. So sissy was a way to refer to sisters. Buddy was a way to refer to brothers. Buddy became friend. Sissy became somebody soft and weak. It became an insult for guys. And then not only that, even the word girls, woman. So if you think about I'm trying to think of some more. It's early and they're kind of fleeting from my mind. I just see a lot of them just flying around, and I need to probably get the written form of this book, because I listened to it in audiobook, but I probably need to get the written form so I can underline them. But there's an ongoing theme. Just like girls, now girls refers to your breasts. Oh, the girls, so it's like there's no safe word to refer to woman. Even woman's size is like plus size or something, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's not just normal, regular. It has to be something quote unquote undesirable or something seedy or something insulting. It's unbelievable. Yeah, all of these, bro, all of it. Missy. Oh, look, thank you for bringing that up. Mistress. Mistress was just the form of referring to it was the female version of Mr. But then mistress turned into the damn woman on the side. And then what did madam become? It's like, if you say, oh, I'm a madam, then people look at you, what is a madam now? It's like, even a word as normal as madam and mistress. It's like, I remember I was in Toastmasters, and I called myself, because the person who does the hosting for the day, they call them Mr. Toastmaster or something like that, something along those lines. I forget now at this point. But when I was going to perform that role, I was like, oh, I'm going to be Mistress Toastmaster. And they were like, and started making S&M jokes. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, no. But then I said, oh, okay. So I don't see any ones that have come through. So what we're going to do is we're going to call it a day, right? Okay, bird, yes, exactly. Lass, exactly. All right. So I will see you all in the next video. Go out there and love. Oh, no, we got to do our self-love lessons. My bad. Come on. I'm tired. I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. So let's go ahead and do the self-love lessons. Let's do that. What's the self-love lessons that you have learned from today's video? So we're going to type out SLL for self-love lesson. And then you're going to type out what it is that you learned from the positive affirmative, because our words matter, So SLL, and then let's talk about the lessons we've learned from the positive affirmative, okay? And let's see if we can get, oh. Okay. Come on, let's get these self-love lessons up. Has anybody here tried hot yoga by any chance? Because I'm getting ready to go try it. I want to see what it's like. I want to sweat and get my skin and pores cleansed out. It's the minimizing of women. That's why. That they find any way to minimize us. I will submit my essay for the one-day retreat. Okay, Alexa. Waiting for the rest of the self-love lessons. What have you learned? Because there are different people who came in at different times. If you don't know, if you weren't here for the lecture that we did, I'm healing my inner child so that I can master myself and have healthy relationships. Yes. 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 I see the word never. So let's only talk about what we do want. So no words like never, no, not, don't. So let's remove those and talk about what we do want. I get to identify and reclaim my genuine identity. Yes, I'm learning to retrain my brain and heal for the sake of my two daughters. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Okay, someone is saying that it may make people feel lightheaded. Yeah, I have to be careful because of my low blood count. However, when I was just dancing, I felt good, but I do know that my blood count is still low, but it's working on growing back up. Okay, SLL, to embrace self-advocacy and be wise of new teachings. And I see the word not in there. Wise of new teachings and embrace new doctrine. Okay, so we'll leave it like that. So I see the word I will know. So take the word no out and talk about what you do want. All right. I've tried hot yoga. It was fun, but don't do it with too many people because there's some flatulence. Oh, child, that does not sound good. Not in a hot, moist room. Yuck. Yuck. So goodness, we are doing the work to wake women up. However, women have to wake up and have to be willing to wake up and have to mourn the existence that we once thought. Was introduced to hot yoga in Seoul, such a treat for the large muscle groups. Love is self is truly the greatest of all. Yeah, so you know Bikram and hot yoga are different. Apparently Bikram was accused of SAing some students or something like that, and he was disgraced. And I just spoke to a woman last night who I met at a retreat, and she does hot yoga. Her skin looks fantastic. When she told me she was in her upper 50s, I nearly slapped myself. But she said that she does hot yoga, and I asked her what was the difference between Bikram and hot yoga. And Bikram has 26 poses that you do. It lasts about an hour and a half, I think she said, whereas hot yoga, you know, there's different poses and it's more of a vinyasa flow. Okay, someone prefers aerial yoga. Okay, listen, you got to do what feels good to you. All right, SLL, using gender neutral language in conversation. Thoughts create words, words create actions, those actions are you. Words do matter. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, Marjorie says I'm having trouble with this one. Well, you know, take your time. You can write it in the comments afterwards. So right now I'm going to go back to working on studying for school, getting my week 8 up, and studying more about what it is that I've been learning. Oh, on that note, I will see you all in the next video. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And I'll see you all in the next video. Okay? All right. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on. So Red Vanessa is saying, do your new self event in London, Tonya. Time for the UK. Listen, Red Vanessa, is your finger to the pulse in the UK? Let's set something up for the spring, okay? When I'm on spring break, all right? I need you to help me find a location where we can have privacy and be able to rent out for the full day, okay? So we can plan something for the spring because women all over the world need this. And to my client in South Africa, if you have your finger to the pulse and you know of a location that we can rent out for, we need at least 8 hours, and we also need a caterer because we're going to be doing hypnotherapy we're going to be going in and out of hypnosis the whole day. So I don't want you all venturing out and coming into contact with other people. So we need catering so that you all can stay pretty close to the room. And so places like yoga studios that rent out, you know, the plays that are, you know, already spiritually grounded and stuff like that, to hold about 20 people. What else? So if you know, so listen, if you're in the United States, you need to come to New York, right? Come to the event. If you're in Europe, we're going to be doing this in London. If you are in the Southern African region, we're going to be doing this in South Africa, but I need your help for the people who are on the ground. All right? So let's go ahead and get out of here. I will see you all in the next video.